Had conversations with, 2 programs on top of Oregon, and kind of just did my due diligence. But I think once I did go on that visit to Oregon, and I was able to see it and be at the facility, talk through things, I think it was one that I couldn't pass up. And like I said, having conversations in alignment immediately, and being in my 6th year, knowing what's real and what's not, it was one that I saw right away and had to make a decision.
What were your conversations with Ryan Day like?
It was good. I think with anything, throughout that process, it's just gaining information on one another. I think the recruiting process is what it is, and I think everyone that was a quarterback in the portal was able to have conversations in different schools.
I know that they wanted to wait. I mean, that was their thing. They want to see Devin Brown play in the Cotton Bowl. Yep. I'm assuming that was a big factor. You didn't want to wait, right? You wanted to get the
For sure. I think going through, my 3rd recruiting process, I know it's a stressful time for anyone and anyone who's transferred. Although there's, beauty in it with new beginnings and all that, everyone knows the stress and, a lot that comes with it. Whether it's the moving companies, the moving in, there's just a lot that comes with it. So, the faster you can make a decision and feel good about it, be decisive, then it allows you to act accordingly.
With that said, how crazy is to think 2 Big 12 quarterbacks last year could be going against each other on October the 12th? With Will Howard sitting there.
Yeah,
is that? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's, to me, it's different in college football because it is new. But I also believe, in the NFL, it was one league, and Peyton went from Indianapolis Colts to the Denver Broncos, and it was different, but life moved on. And to me, I just think, like I said, the less disparity between the NFL and college, whether it's like the in-helmet communication, tablets on the sideline, some sort of free agency that we're talking about. I just think that it'll be better for the players in adjusting to the next level.
Several of us are from the Columbus area. We're standing here in front of you right now. And how do you look at this season and not at least peak toward Ohio State on October the 12th? Everybody nationally is looking at that as a huge showdown game. You as a player, how do you keep that in perspective?
Yeah, I think you keep it in perspective as, you still got to play the games beforehand. And, of course, there's matchups that everyone looks forward to. And I think that's what makes it fun about college football. But each week you have to go out and produce. It's a production-based sport. And what have you done for me lately? And, that's why, living in the now, living in the moment will be really good for the players. And, that's part of your guys' job of getting ahead and getting it right for us and getting all the excitement going. So I appreciate you guys doing that.
Do you know Will Howard at all?
I do. So I of course, the Big 12 knew of him. Playing the first year against them, and the second year we didn't play against each other, but knew of him, and then met at the Manning camp this year. But very familiar with his game due to just watching. Whether it's when he was playing at K-State, and then opponents we'd watch, we'd have, film from there.
How would you describe him as a quarterback?
No, extremely talented. I think he does a great job of, running the football and throwing the ball. Great command, and has done a great job, at K-State. And, it'd be exciting. Those are the type of matchups you look forward to, and, that week rolls around. So,
Coach Landon said you've been golfing with him recently. What's been the process kind of off the field of getting to know him, Coach Stein, as people, and other things that we've done together?
Yeah. It was the dinners at his house, the golf, just having that time together, meetings in his office just about life, ball, everything in between. You just appreciate a guy like that, him being younger. I think he understands the younger generation, and is able to connect with us well. And he does a good job of it, but he's real, he's authentic, he's genuine in the way he communicates. I think that allows us to be vulnerable, and that's why that respect and relationships are there. So I appreciate him. As a defensive-minded head coach, he appreciates the relationship with the quarterback, and also realizes that that's important, you know, as well as it's important to me. So whether we're playing 9 at ECC or, you know, in the office just chopping it up, you know, I appreciate him, you know, a whole bunch.
Dylan, how are you handling the kind of hype and attention that comes from being the preseason Heisman favorite?
Yeah, I think all that is, you know, it is what it is. You know, talk is cheap and hype is cheap for, you know, for players in the sense that, you know, what happens preseason doesn't necessarily affect anything, you know, when season comes around. So, you know, that may be happening. And like I said, I acknowledge it and appreciate the excitement and everyone, you know, get excited for season. But, you know, the truth is, you know, when we line it up and the clock starts, kickoff, you know, hits, we're rolling, you know, and you have to produce, and it's what have you done for me lately.
You mentioned the parallels earlier, the NFL and you know, all the helmet communication and other things. Are we making too much of the travel, or are you concerned with like, hey, we're going to be logging a lot of miles this year? What are some of the maybe recovery things? Are you guys talking about that? Or?
Yeah, I think you know, that's real because it's, like I said, new, so it's going to be different. But for the most part, I always think, you know, that's even another parallel of, you know, the NFL. You know, whether it's, you know, the Chargers playing New England Patriots, you know, they're going to have to travel, and that's kind of part of it. But I think, you know, organizations, programs have been doing the right thing of, you know, communicating of how, you know, other people travel, or maybe it's traveling a day earlier or two. And I think that will help. But, you know, we did it with bowl games. You know, people just got out there a week earlier and were able to. So, you know, teams are going to be playing in Ireland. Teams are going to be playing, you know, here in the States. Regardless, I think it's just how you prepare on the front end to help, you know, athletes, coaches, everyone involved.
You're playing Hawaii too, right?
That too.
Speaking of travel, I just want to test your Big Ten geography real quick.
Yep.
Do you know what state Purdue is in?
Indiana.
Okay, good job.
Yep.
10 out of 12 from the West Coast players.
Really?
10 out of 12. Washington let you guys down.
Oh.
Have you been in Indiana before for anything?
I have not.
Do you know anything about Purdue and because you guys are having to learn? I guess for you it's going to be that way anyway.
Yep.
Probably moving conferences, but as a program, you have to start learning about these opponents from scratch, right?
Yeah, I think to be quite honest, you know, that kind of reminds you of a non-conference schedule for the first time of learning new people. But for the most part, there are some benefits, you know, for that as well in terms of, you know, not knowing each other's DNA and you know, the history of it. But, you know, also, you know, it just comes with new territory, and you adjust, you make adjustments, you know, year to year, and you roll with them. So I think it'll be fun regardless. The best matchups in college football is what everyone wants.
Did you know Hudson Card at all